There have been at least a handful of videos on YouTube and other places everywhere. I'm pretty sure there are articles too, suggesting that people are moving back to shooting pictures and possibly movies with DSLRs and ditching mirrorless. I find that quite pathetic. I'll explain why. Welcome, story lovers, to the Story Dude Show with your host, Jared G. Winchester, bringing you fresh set of episodes for the month of September 2025. So let's get right into it, shall we? First, I have a life update for you. Before we get into all this, I recently, and by recently I mean 2 days ago, I decided I would investigate what's involved in product photography. And that's when I found a few videos popping up on my YouTube feed talking all this shit. Here's the thing. Product photography has the same principles as photography. Now there's a little change in lighting, a specific lens that you need to go for, that being a macro lens. I did a little bit of investigating after that, and I decided for myself, product photography may be one of those things that I could latch on, doing a little bit of freelancing work while operating my company and making films, fund my films. That's interesting and all. Again, when I go back to watching these few videos that I found suggesting that people are ditching mirrorless for DSLRs, no. The fact of the matter is, they are ditching no mirrorless cameras. They are supplementing mirrorless cameras with old technology, vintage lenses, DSLR cameras as maybe a hobby or professionally do something, but that's their choice. But what they're not doing here, in this case, is the videos that I watched, they weren't giving us the stats. They weren't really giving us the evidence to back up the claim that mirrorless cameras are being ditched. Quite the opposite. See, the camera I'm using right now, that's a mirrorless camera. The Sony mirrorless camera. And I bought this specifically for video. And I've rigged it up, I've set it all up so that it captures audio as well, as just like a handy cam, but a bit more professional. But to suggest that mirrorless cameras are being ditched has quite a bit of fallacies to it. Namely, there's the hasty generalization fallacy, and there's also the appeal to tradition fallacy. Now, with the appeal to tradition fallacy, it's the argument that DSLRs have done a better job, so they're better in terms of photography. In some respects, that's true. But to suggest that DSLRs alone are the better choice, the better tools to snap your photography is insane. Because, again, I implied this in my earlier episodes. It's the photographer that makes or breaks your project, your photos, your videos. And as I like to go back to my example where a bad handyman will always blame his tools. And the reason he does that is that he can't know how to use them. He doesn't even know how to use them. And that's what a bad handyman does. He will always blame his tools, expecting that his tools are going to make him a better handyman. No. It's him, the handyman, that does the job, that's doing the job. And tools are just tools. They help you do the job. But to suggest that the tools are the make and break of what you're doing, sorry, don't buy it. So if someone suggests that mirrorless cameras are being ditched for DSLRs, verify it. I know I would. I know for a fact that mirrorless not only is the future, but camera manufacturers will find ways to save costs, and by doing so, new technology and new stuff is going to come out that's more cost effective and that's more accessible to more of the public, more of the general public. So with that being said, this is Jared Dean Winchester, also known as the Story Dude. Like, comment, and subscribe. I have a question for you. Have you heard anywhere that DSLRs are replacing mirrorless, or people are ditching mirrorless for DSLRs? If so, have you asked them for proof? Have you asked them for any evidence? Have they backed it up with any evidence? So, I post anywhere between 2 to 3 episodes per month, usually, but starting this month, I'm planning on doing a whole series for like a weekly series. I've switched it up. I'm gonna do one a week to help the algorithm. So, like, comment, and subscribe again. And as always, until I see you again, don't forget to turn that page.